welcome to my analysis here. I guess you could say this is really for my friends and family. There's a whole bunch of geopolitical reasons why I'm not even going to make this video on YouTube available to the public. If you have the link, congratulations. You're someone I love, or family, or friend, or that I just care about the general welfare of. I really don't care if you take it as financial advice. Not really speculative at this point for me or my family. But I have a weekly candlestick chart. It's not the normal candlestick chart. It's the Heikin Ashi candlestick chart, and it's on a logarithmic scale. That's really important. Those two factors, those two elements for generating this chart is really important. On the right part of the screen, I've just got my layers. If you know what Photoshop is, I can make them visible. But in 2011, say hello to Bitcoin at $11 a token. This is the weekly chart. Each candle represents 1 week worth of open and closes. Closes on Sundays. Today is a Monday. We just had a close. Take a look at exactly what happens every single time we start forming green upwards wicking candles instead of red down wicking candles. Of course, the open and the close from the previous candle is the filled candle. You really don't have to know a lot about this stuff, except where price has been and where price is going and where price has stayed. I've literally watched 60% of cryptocurrency value drop in just 2 months. But these are the things that you got to be prepared for, and this is definitely a better value than keeping my U.S. dollar. Anyway, okay, so I have drawn a parallel channel, and I'm about to display this parallel channel so that we can see what happens to this parallel channel. And I've got a trend line on top, one on the bottom. But you see what happens when we start to encounter red candles on the candlestick chart. Sometimes, not always the case, obviously here. But when we started seeing green candles down here, or these green candles right here, if we bought there, even if we just sold where the red candles were, watch the continuation patterns occur for weeks on end. This is just, this is 3 months worth of data, August to October, November. We're talking, long time to sit there and worry about it. But you see what happened when we began to form green candles. It goes up. Upward facing green candles, it just goes up. So there's been an algorithm that I'm going to actually add here real quick. It's called Pi Cycle Top, an algorithm or function or indicator that not created by me, but introduced to me by a Joel Bishop, good friend. And it identifies a Pi Cycle Top. You've heard of Bitcoin cycles. Well, this is what they're referring to. It doesn't happen, like on an annual basis. It's sometimes sustained 3 years apart. But look what continued to happen. We had green candles. This is a spinning top, a continuation pattern. A green spinning top right there was a good sign after, 5, 6 consecutive weeks in the red. And then we saw the second Pi cycle top. This was in 2013. And if you bought it, in 2013, you could have had it at an amazing price, even still to this day. But July of 2013, we're talking $64. And December of 2013, we're talking $1,200. This is the logarithmic scale. Things aren't going to start looking like they're relative to their price increases, but it puts all things into perspective. For me, at least, it tells me think that it makes sense. Now, when you put it from this perspective, and we have these pi cycle tops, and we can draw the same trend lines off of each pi cycle top and see where price action is going. Now, I've circled pi cycle tops here, and when it does, where price is going, when it does. And as you can see, if you draw a line from the high highs, and that's what I've done with this parallel channel, we zoom out, you'll see clearly that price action stays within them. And this channel is doing nothing but facing one direction, and that's up. I mean, really, it doesn't matter even when you get in on it. If you wait an average of 4 years, which most people, could, justify using their savings account to do, as opposed to sitting there losing 20% of its value year over year. This is really clear to me. It's not very speculative anymore, especially with the ETF that what they approved on Wall Street this past year. But as you notice, I've drawn these trend lines. They're at the same angle on each pi cycle top, but where they violate trend lines, and they do, it just has in the past caused price to just scream. Right here, where we had a violation in the downward drawn trend line here, and I'll keep moving on up. Look at what happens every time we have green upward facing candles. Green upward facing candles instead of red downward facing candles. And these if you're available on Sundays to just look at what the weekly candlestick has done, that's all you'd have to keep an eye on from this perspective. I'm not redrawing these lines. I'm just making the price action appear properly in the correct direction. So I'm just going to keep referencing pi cycle top, major trend line violation, and what happens afterwards. And this would have been a good buy indication right here. If you see these green candles here, even if you bought here, 3, 4, 5 weeks of green candles that don't reach to the moon, after all-time highs, these pi cycle tops, that's what they are. They're all-time highs. Now, all-time high was technically broken right here from the previous pi cycle top, and actually had 3 red candles. You break a pi cycle top, you're resting on the support of that horizontal line, or even giving you a run for your money down here in the red. I mean, you can still see that, this price drawn in this parallel channel, it sticks to it now like magnets already from the first and second pi cycle tops. Now, we've had 4 pi cycle tops according to this chart. Now, in 2018, we hit an all-time high of $18,000 per token. That's up from December of 2013 from $920 a token to $21,000, $20,000, $19,000 in just a single cycle. And what I've also drawn here in this underneath these low, connecting these low lows to show you kind of a good indicator where on each pi cycle, and I can click and drag and move this down, we have this, low low, 2 low lows formed sometime within, a year and a half period. Let's see, we're looking at December 2018 to February 24th, and 2020. But so where we're at now, if you just follow the greens, and where they started turning green, just every Sunday check the candlestick. You can determine downward facing wicks or upward facing wicks, continuation pattern. Just look at the candlesticks. This is on a different chart than whatever all the other charts will indicate. But if you were to even by here, 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 all these good locations where 2 or 3 or more candlesticks were forming. This lower trend line, you see how price action even wicked below it but didn't close really above it, except for right here for just a short period, and was up back above it. Yeah, these are good solid support indicators that go along this parallel ascension channel that I have drawn here. Again, we have a new pi cycle top formed April 2020 with an all-time high that reached 63,000, I believe, or 61 to 2,000, and then it retested, headed, had a trend line break here on this pi cycle top, drawn at the same uh, angle. I've got too many things here, really, probably uh, drawn. I could afford to lose some of them. But that leaves us here. So this was a big pi cycle top indicator. Now, this indicator was probably created before this pi cycle top existed. A lot of people say that this isn't the correct top. Look at where we're at in this channel. Now, let me zoom out. Okay. Um, by this point, I've got a lot on here. I wanted to also compare Ethereum. I've got Ethereum here, uh, also drawn on the logarithmic chart. Uh, Here's the Ethereum trend line, and this is the Ethereum line chart. Um, and if you notice, like sentiments occur. One go Bitcoin. They follow Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin performs well and all-time highs are achieved, altcoins pump. Because people take profits, and this is a period in which profits need to be taken. Some people say that this pi cycle top shouldn't have occurred. This pi cycle top occurred in the top of the channel. Now, if that's the case, and our new expectations are from each. That was my price prediction trend line there, but uh, from each of these pi cycles, occurred when they were in the top of this ascension channel that I have drawn here. See how prices now has only reached halfway up. This is typically on the pi cycle top a good buy indicator, but since it occurred right there, some people question whether or not it was the top. Um, Now, for price predictions, I've got a lot of trend lines drawn here. You probably could afford, to lose a lot of them for now. But if I had to go through and hide them all and then redisplay them in a specific order, and that's a pi cycle top, ellipse, eclipse, ellipse. But where we're at now on the logarithmic chart for the Heikin Ashi, this is so important. We've actually established a new low high. Okay, so the previous highs were in the upper channel of this parallel channel I have drawn here. Being this one went above it. It's not perfect. It doesn't encompass the high here on this pi cycle top. It was just a really powerful pi cycle top. If you notice, the next one was not as pronounced. Even 3.5 years later, December to December, 4 years later, uh, that's how long the cycle took. Now this cycle, pi cycle top, the duration or distance, the time period is from December 17th to March 21st, 2017 or 2018, 2017 until March 2021. We had this Head and Shoulders. A lot of people talk about the news and how it affects the outcome, I say, this is probably COVID. Nothing ever was really hit, or if it was anything, I say it's just a false pi cycle top. They need to perfect it because, according to, our price action should really, according to the scale, should have been not, where I have this line drawn. It'd be up here. Where the next one should have occurred. But, the COVID, and I'm not a big fan of COVID. But yeah, this is where price action should be, according to this chart. But our expectations probably should be lower now that the whole you know the whole gig is up, because something going from $12 to $70,000 in just 10 years is unheard of. In any investment, anybody, blockchain, is it's almost foolproof. You can when the miners reconcile the ledger independently, they do so in a decentralized way. That's why it's called decentralized finance. That's it. Cryptocurrency is not cryptic. It is backed by encryption. This shouldn't even be called cryptocurrency. These people that are laughing keep laughing 4 years later when we hit all-time highs. We just hit $69,000 in October, $62,000 in April. It was just 10 years later. So what we have now, for the first time in almost 2.5 months, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 11 candlesticks. We have a potentially bearish doji candlestick, a green one though, that formed. So a green doji stick has to invalidate. They call it a spinning top, where it almost opened and closed the same location. I believe this is a trend reversal, and we're starting to see the first. This closed yesterday. This first green candle closed yesterday, January 22nd, or January 31st, 2021. We are not even finished with the close of the next green candle. Now, where does that put price prediction? I'm not the best, predictive prices. If I was, I'd be a lot greener than I am now. But if I had to guess where price action is going to go or stay, the safest is right here. Currently, Bitcoin is selling at 42,000. Worst case scenario, sticking to this trend line, this parallel channel. This is all my years in technical analysis is right here in this one chart. In Bitcoin, it sets the narrative, the larger narrative, even beyond Ethereum. Ethereum's a great token. And I mean, it looks like, to a degree, it's eating Bitcoin's lunch. Upper channel right here, just like Bitcoin on Pi Cycle Top. You could apply it probably, and it ring true with Ethereum too. I don't think that it identifies it in Ethereum. I think I've tried it, but it's just an indicator. Some people really believe in it. It can give you a scare. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin went down to $32,000 again. But honestly, the bearish market appears to be over. I have a sentiment for these things. Back in November, I looked down at my, cryptocurrency tokens, and all of them turned red. It's November the 10th, right here, where we had this red continuation show up here. This red spinning top, or doji. Actually, it's a hammer. Hammers are typically indicators of trend reversal, but I say it's closer to a spinning top. And this spinning top, continuation pattern of the trend, which is down here, suggested lower lows, which occurred. And I had this line right here, this brush line drawn many months ago. So price prediction, or many weeks ago. Now I could see the price of Bitcoin on the logarithmic scale following in this parallel channel, and this can't be construed as financial advice. I'm don't listen to me. I'm really down, but it's 122,000. It could be headed directly there, up from the current price, which might not stay here for long. That's a total of 200% from February the 7th to July. Worser case scenario, not even a bad scenario, 23% on your money. You have US dollar inflation's eating at it at 20% annually. This could be where price goes. $53,000. Now we already hit all-time highs of $69,000 here. Okay, and if I had to take a real good price guess prediction, it's going to be sticking along this line at the minimum, if not seeking higher highs, developing a new price cycle top, which is not impossible. Next price cycle top, even if it went at this angle right here, I can draw an info line from this bottom right here, price from previous price cycle top, right here. We're talking 500%. From previous price cycle top price, talking to 250%. It's something we could still expect from here, but from here. So that's why I say price prediction. Worst case scenario, best case scenario. Right now, I've noticed on the RSI some indicators. There's a lot of more technical stuff. But price could go here to here or here to here. Worst case scenario. But the good news is, or it could even go side, like right here where I have this blue line brush. But I do believe that even if we take into account the previous price cycle top regression trend, we could take this one and extend it out to even right here. Either way, that's 100%, 25%. It's Black Friday deals on cryptocurrency right now. But it's never violated this entire channel. If we zoom out, it has never violated this top channel. These two green channels that I have drawn here. One for Ethereum on the bottom, one for Bitcoin. Anyway, this is just my analysis. There's no way a major trend line price cycle top violation and a parallel channel price action doesn't do anything else. It really doesn't do anything else. You can see here, take notice that maybe Ethereum is really kind of taking some dominance over the past 6 months. Anyway, this is my best technical analysis. We've started seeing green candles for the first time and finding any and all positive news or chart patterns. And I came across over the 2 years I've been doing this research. This is what I've come up with. If I've ever recommended a time to buy cryptocurrency, it's now, and that's the reason I'm making this video. It's just my friends, my family. I can do whatever you want with your U.S. dollar, but if you have a savings account, I'd officially recommend that you put it into Bitcoin, crypto. It's never violated this channel. Don't expect it to do so. This is the fourth high cycle top we've encountered, and we violated the trend line, the flag shaped trend line that goes from the high highs. And we've never violated the parallel channel southward, but for just 3 candles on the whole chart. So it's volatile. It can get scary. If you see, though, price action hit that bottom green line on the channel that's going upwards here, that's a buy. Worst case scenario, I think that we may go sideways until April of 2022, but do nothing. But if we drop to 38 or even bang back down on the 32,000, that's a real big sell indicator, and we'd actually have to not hit all-time highs, but go up to $69,000, maybe But as long as we didn't go up above 69,000, um, it can be considered a head and shoulders pattern forming on the weekly chart, which is no joke. It is the confluence of 3 years worth of uh, financial chart data. So around March, if we haven't pushed for, or April, if we're not still above 69,000, it's going to form on the weekly chart, um, potentially as a red candle. See what happened every single time we have red candles. Now skip this continuation red candle here. Even here, red candles still isn't a bad spot to be. When you see how we bounce off these lines or stick to them like they're magnets, or bang back down on them, or go to the top when they don't like to stay, anywhere. This one stayed a really long time from uh, 2015 to 2018. This was a huge price cycle top. But you can see here, I mean, overall, I mean, when something goes from $12 to $70,000, 10 years, and I mean, I I believe I believe this is going to continue. We may see some regressions from this parallel channel, but if we're on it already, that's a buy indicator for me. I believe that this is going to continue to happen until all of the entire world's wealth, more than half of the world's wealth, current total market cap in blockchain technology, that's what this is, Bitcoin, crypto, the total market cap is close to almost, well, it went up to almost 3 trillion this past November. $3 trillion. The total market cap of the world's wealth, total world's wealth is $540 trillion. That means we're still not even 2% of the total world's wealth. I believe that this cryptocurrency is going to keep hitting all-time highs at least until half of the world's wealth is in it, at least. And that's just to hedge your bets from the fiat currency system. The banks, the central banks. The central banks are trying to come out with their own, CBDCs, things that are backed by assets. I mean, this is not speculative for me anymore. I'm past the speculation. If I could, get more of it, more speculation, I would, and I do. There's altcoins that fire off every time that Bitcoin starts hitting new all-time highs. Okay, all-time highs when Bitcoin goes into price discovery mode, and it does for many months. As you can see here in this 2016 to 2019 run here, this is a huge, long, extended period here to here was 7,000% gains. And staying inside that channel, it's not impossible to continue that on up from each pie cycle top. So July of 2024, is each Bitcoin really going to be worth $2,351,683? I don't know. Probably. If I had to take a guess, probably, or a more conservative guess would be 615,000. Staying inside this parallel channel, I've actually just recently, with these trend lines, published this work. Check it out on TradingView, whatever. Anyway, that's all I really got to say. All the years I've been studying this stuff, I did not by choice, really, at this point. But for a retirement plan, so I don't have to work the rest of my life, day in and day out, kill myself, over ins and outs of the daily grind. Maybe this can help you do the same. Anyway, you're more than welcome to share this video with all your friends, all your family, whatever you want to do with it. If anybody that's interested in cryptocurrency, They could watch this, agree or disagree with me, but I felt the low, I felt the bottom. We bounce off of this trend line every single time. It has a angle of attack of uh, 25 degrees. That's the direction it's heading every year. It is literally the opposite of what the U.S. dollar does sitting in the bank. Anyway, uh, that's my best and worst case play out scenarios. Obviously, any drop for a month, 2 months beyond these, but below these green lines, the green upward facing line that Bitcoin sits in, is a bearish signal. The price could go plummeting down if it broke the trend line that we just bounced off of. It went south or downward past it for up to three candles. I'd say three candles is a good indicator and a good time to possibly get out expecting the trend reversal. So upward green, upward wicking, upward facing green candlesticks on this Heikin Ashi chart is what you should just take a look at every Sunday or Monday. Set a reminder on your phone. Take a look at it. It tells you way more than you would ever even need to know on how to trade it. Remember, this is long-term stuff, 4 years. 4 years from now, if Bitcoin's not at least $110,000, $100,000 in April of 2023, I'd be really surprised. Again, if it's not 289,000 by June of 2024, I'd be totally surprised. If it dropped below this, I wouldn't expect it to stay below it long, just enough to give anybody a run for their money or their scare that they'd need to just give up hope. And that's what this whole system is designed to do, just make each retail investor lose all hope. These are extended plays here, 4 years. 4 years to get the next pie cycle. It sticks in the channel. At least within the channel, we're at a good position right now, the best position right now, and especially with pie cycle top, um, trend line violation. That's the biggest indicator for me, especially now here in February, what we just did on the first candle close of January, beginning February 1st. We just changed it. And we've got still on the candle close 6 days and 12 hours. We just did it. So anyway, hope this is good for you. There's a lot of my research and time in this. I wouldn't take it with grain of salt or whatever. Yeah. Go smash it. Go make some money. Thank you for listening. If you're still listening to this video, God bless you. I've got another video I'll probably link down in the description of a guy that begged us to buy it in 2013. It's still possibly the best decision you never made. Something that could have put you at the beach or your own private island or whatever. Anyway, we see regressions, 60% up to 60, 80% corrections down southward. Bad. It's scary. It can be scary if you're in them during the bear market, which is pretty much what we've been in. Anyway, I see a tremendous swing to the upside here, at least to 100%. We should see an $85,000 Bitcoin before we see it regress, an all new time high, not setting a new pie cycle, but just really setting the stage for better things to come. The longer we sit on our side or, go horizontally, the better, history shows. Anyway, all right, well, wish you luck. And on any future endeavors, especially with any blockchain currencies, that you want to get into. Anyway, thanks for watching.